Hey, welcome back to another edition of Ego on Break. I'm your host, Dynamite J. Andrews. This is the Mississippi Madman, Logan Creed, sitting at my side. And we're going to continue our talk about Smokey Mountain Wrestling. If you like these, let us know in the comments. It's just something new we're trying to do. We're going to get back to some other stuff, I'm sure. But I've really enjoyed the Smokey Mountain Wrestling.
And these last few have been really good.
So we're on episode 6.
Yeah.
All right, give us the rundown.
Let's see. This one starts, it's Cottle and Dutch again. And it kind of stays Cottle and Dutch most of the time.
I think they're like the main guys, but
Unless
Cornette
Dutch
steps in unless Dutch steps in.
And then Cornette comes in. But it starts with Rip Rogers promoing about fat fans.
Is this where he's doing
he's talking about doing free squats.
Yep.
And then I seen him doing them, and he's holding the back of a chair. I was like, technically...
Well, I think the chair became into place so that we could get to what's going to happen later.
What happens later, but he's holding the back of a chair doing free squats, which, don't get me wrong, for an hour doing it even that way.
I don't care if you're touching your toes, for up, down.
And
I mean,
I'd always read everything about Rip Rogers was like he had wind for days.
Yeah.
He'd just go and go and go. And even by the end, I mean, I'm pretty sure they worked it, but it looked like he was just still smoking him down.
Well, I mean, I don't know how much they actually worked it because he's
the
out in front of the crowd.
There. Yeah, that's true too. So, but the whole show is like, he's like, I'm going to do squats
for the whole entire show.
60 minutes.
Yep.
And Dutch does a promo on Styles versus Brian
Lee, the psycho.
And
he's a murderer.
Yeah. It was okay. It wasn't nothing great, but it was what it was. Then you got the match, Jeppy Joey Maggs versus Hollywood Bob Holly.
Yep. This was okay.
In his Hollywood shades, as Kyle would like to point out. I was trying to catch little
They're
notes
special.
that they would say, and I'm like, these are
special shades.
These are like gas station shades. You know what I mean?
From Hollywood.
From Hollywood, if it was Hollywood, and maybe it was the name of the road.
Yeah, well, I think like the brand was like Hollywood, like.
But another match where I'm with a lot of people. I'm like, how Joey Maggs didn't become more than what Joey Maggs become.
I think it's just really his size, man. Like,
but dude, he was so good. There's a lot of guys that are on here.
All the enhancement talent. I ain't gonna say all, but 90% of the enhancement.
A lot.
They're good, man. Like they're really good guys.
It blows your mind how good they are and how they didn't really become nothing more than a lot of jobbers.
Yeah, and I think a lot of them would have, like, had it not been TV tapings, then you probably would have got different matches. You know what I mean?
That's true. But, I mean, it's pretty much a 50-50 match.
Yeah, it's good.
And Holly goes over with a top rope elbow drop.
Yep.
I like that he changed a lot of stuff up, but I figured that damn knee drop sucks because I gave a knee drop like twice in my whole career, and I thought, like, God, I thought my knees were going to blow up just from doing it.
It's rough for sure.
Because all your weight goes down, your knees are folding, and anyway, it sucks on you. But next was Tim Horner promoing during Rip Rogers. This
was okay. I hate on Horner's promos a lot,
but he's getting a little better.
But the segment was pretty decent.
And he kind of just, it's coincidental supposedly. You know, that he's there, and he's like, I'll tell you, he said, what, he's going to do these the whole show? He goes, I got $500, so you can't do this the whole show.
And I like, he's like, hey, if you just want to throw your money away, because I can do these for 3 weeks.
And in the end, I'm sorry, but to me, Horner comes off as the bad guy.
Well, don't ruin it. So.
I don't know, but I'm just saying. But,
But I like the setup. I really did like the setup. It got over Rip Rogers for being... the marathon man. It kind of put Horner over as being like, you're a bad guy. I don't think you can do this or whatever. So,
and you get Bam Bam Gordy versus Tommy Angel.
Big fan of Tommy Angel, man. Like
this wasn't exactly a great match, but it was okay for what it was.
I mean,
I could kind of see where. I think this is after he had his incident in Japan where he had basically went to a coma and come back, and everybody said like he never really.
I don't think this is it. I think this is just. Or
is it before you think?
Yeah, I think this is leading up to the point of why he.
Yeah, I got you. But to me, right now with Bam Bam on these shows, his promos are more entertaining than his matches
love the gimmick of dropping bombs.
Yeah.
At first,
I didn't know what the hell he was
I
talking
didn't either.
about.
I was like, okay, like he's
this
whacked
fool's
out,
done
you
lost
know.
his mind.
But then
has
when he does the
match.
power bomb, I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, makes
Finally
sense. He's
makes
dropping
sense.
bombs.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
said. But yeah, he won the match with a promo.
With the power bomb.
I'm sorry.
I talked you into submission.
But no, it was like right after he does a promo.
That's our new shirt.
And
Talk
it
you into
becomes,
submission.
and it does become a trend for the next two shows where people are going, not a man alive that can beat me.
And it's cool because it's all building up to the tournament. Like, I think it was halfway done on purpose.
Yeah. And then it's him talking about dropping bombs again. And I was like, okay, cool. It makes sense now.
Yeah. I really dug the promos. Like, they were out there. They were crazy, but they were exactly what I thought a wild man like Bam Bam Gordy would have put out there. So,
and then the next was Danny Davis does a promo, and his is more or less trying to get over the new character, I think, because he's done like one match. So
and I love it's just like that little bottle of nitroglycerin.
Can blow up the world. Yeah.
I like it.
Okay.
But now he's not the most enthusiastic promo. He picks up his pace a little bit and he changes his tone a little bit, but a lot of it's just like, hey, you know who I am, you know me, like.
But the next promo to me caught an accidental line of the night, and it was Bob Armstrong talking about the rules: no pile drivers over the top rope. And bro, when he said that, I was like, I'm writing that down. I ain't forgetting that. But it was but more or less, it was an accidental thing. He goes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you think it's crazy, but I'm sure we've seen like some version of that.
Yes. But I died when he said, I was like, holy crap, what did he say? And I rewound it back and I was like, oh, he did say
He was Back to the Future with his old he just didn't know they was going to name it the Canadian Destroyer to the floor,
kidding.
you know.
Through a table and then I'll kick out of 5 seconds later.
To the roll up.
It was cool. He's more or less just still pushing. I'm not going to be ran over as a commissioner.
And I like this. I really...
He's enforcing it more or less.
I really like just putting the rules out there, showing I'm not going to take it, issuing fines. Like, I love it.
You go to a commercial and come back, and it led back into a tag tournament promo from Bob Armstrong again. And Ron Wright rolls his ass out there because Bob was like, look, he ain't out there, and he is a manager, but he doesn't have a wrestler to manage. If he's not out there, otherwise he's banned from ringside. And brother, they've cut a promo on each other that was really good.
Poor Bob.
Yeah,
picking on poor Ron Wright.
Poor Ron. He's like, look, I got a knot on my head and a scar on my head that'll never heal because of you. I know better.
You sell that bull malarkey to somebody else. I know you.
But it's a good old Southern promo, and eventually he just turns Ron around and rolls his butt on out in a wheelchair.
I really like this.
Yes, it was really good.
Again, I am becoming a huge Ron Wright fan. And not just this. I watched something today where Southern States Wrestling, Bo James. I guess
I know him, bigger fella.
Yeah, he runs that area, Kingsport or whatever. And so when Ron Wright died, they did a special tribute to him on his TV and stuff, and it was really good. I'll send it to you. It was good.
The next you got Mr. Wonderful. Talking about the pile driver, like how this guy has a neck breaker. He just did. This other guy
power bombs
did the power bomb. He goes, that's just as dangerous. He goes, every move is just as dangerous as the pile driver. Why is my move illegal? And he's just pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. And I'm like, he's steadily walking that edge. I'm not quite a baby face, and I'm not quite.
Well, it's like I wanted to be a good guy, but you pissed me off.
And it's more or less, I want to do what I want to do. Is more or less what it comes down to. And I think it's going to press. I'm not sure because I haven't been forward, but that somebody will eventually get hurt from the pile driver because they're pushing how strong this move.
Right.
But next you had Mr. Wonderful versus Barry Horowitz. Again, awesome freaking match.
Yep.
Another guy like hell, him and Joey Maggs could have been.
Give me him and Joey Maggs versus Tommy Angel and Ricky Nelson, and I'm good.
They could have. I know for a fact the third show we didn't go to, it has one of the Hart brothers wrestling. And I was like, wow, it was so cool how many people went through this federation you didn't know.
Right.
But the match itself was really, really good. And he even goes for the pile driver at one point during the match, and the referee's like, no, you cannot do it. And he's like, damn it, I have other moves. And he actually beats him with the hooked backslide.
Right.
Really good, really good match. Barry Horowitz is another guy that's just overlooked. And I don't think I've ever heard very many Barry Horowitz promos. And my feeling is maybe that's what hit him and Joey Maggs is maybe their promos
Could
were
be.
just it.
But again, you know, you have guys you're building, but you need guys for them to be.
They were some mechanics.
You know,
I mean, they were
and
mechanics.
that's exactly what it is. Like, those guys were the mechanics. They were not jobbers. Like,
No,
they were
by no
just
means.
solid hands. And, like, I loved it even in the Tommy Angel Bam Bam Gordy match where Dutch says, you know, guys like this, they keep taking these matches against established guys because one day they're going to upset the established guy, and that's when they're going to get that first taste of fame. That's when they're going to be able to grab that momentum. So, like, he even explained why a guy like Tommy Angel, like a Ricky Nelson, a Joey Maggs would keep fighting.
Risk it all, because back then it meant something.
Right, because if they ever beat them, then they got hey, look at me, you know. So,
and he did sneak that one win on the Black Scorpion.
Yeah.
Which you haven't seen Black Scorpion
No.
since.
And I wish I would have remembered. The Black Scorpion is somebody. Like,
But he was a bunch of somebodies in WCW.
yeah,
That was
but
the
before
problem.
that, you know,
I know,
or,
but I'm just saying.
or after that, I don't know at this point. But
Well, and I finally kind of got behind the whole secrecy of Jim Cornette not letting people know who the tag team was when they were like, okay, well, nobody can prepare for it. It's not exactly fair. And you can bring in some ringers, you know. And so now it has become like you kind of understand why.
But there are some ringers in this tag tournament.
Oh, no, there
some guys
I
I never heard of and went and watched. I was like, oh man, like.
There were some that really surprised me.
So I'm looking forward to
yeah.
the actual tournament. So,
but it's more or less him finally going, okay, well, you know, maybe I'll work on a way that y'all can see who they are. So then you have Dutch Promo on the Styles fighting for him because he's sick still.
Yeah, he definitely was sick.
So your main event is Carl Styles versus Brian Lee. And
Not
the
bad.
match,
It wasn't bad.
It just got old at one point to me where he chased Dutch too damn much until he finally got cut off.
But again,
and Dutch is at ringside, so he's trying to whoop the shit out of him.
I mean, if I'm mad at you, you know, like,
oh, no,
I mean, I got
it.
why, but one or two times less probably would have helped.
He chased him like 15 times. I think he got winded. He was chasing him too damn much.
And still think Carl Styles looks like Kenny Omega's daddy.
He did. He's a big swallow dude. Not the prettiest worker, but for what they did,
solid. I mean, he's that. Oh, I got the guy off the street to beat you up. That I mean, he fits the role perfectly.
And he's another one. Like, he had to change his finisher in this because Carl Styles is a big old guy. He usually does that lift up to a backbreaker. Yep. And in this one, he was just so damn big, he turned it into a power bomb, and it looked really good.
Yeah.
I was like, you ought to do that instead of the other.
But that was probably an accidental power bomb.
But
you know?
it looked so much better, and I bet his knees felt better too. But that was it, and they then after that they jump him. That's kind of after match brawl, not bad. And they're basically setting up for Dutch versus Brian Lee coming, you know, soon. Then Cornette again could cut another short promo on the dirty Southerners and how you don't want to be there, but
hillbillies and all that.
We're going to be here because we're going to show you how wrestling's better. I'm like, you don't want to be there, but you're going to show them out. Hey, I'm like, contradict yourself.
I'm a little, Cornette does that from time to time, but
a lot.
I'm a little, I hate you. I wouldn't be here if you paid me, but we're going to be here next Saturday.
And we're going to show you why wrestling's better from us. Yeah. Let's just say he couldn't hide being the owner very well. I mean, we know what we know now. Maybe back then people didn't catch up on it, but you definitely know now. Then you had Barry Bam Bam doing a promo, more bomb dropping, and that is his best.
Get down! The bombs are dropping.
When he starts jumping on the ground, is when I'm just like, holy shit. And I bet, and if I'm entertained, 45 years later, how these people were in the front row, just look at this crazy big SOB.
There's a reason people were paying, getting up off their couch, man.
And this was the promo I think where he's talking about. I went to the top of Freebird Mountain, and he's like, now I'm at the top of Smokey Mountain. If there's a belt, I'm coming for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one holding that belt if there is a belt. That was my favorite thing. He's like, hey, I'm gonna hold that belt if there is one. If there's a belt, I'm gonna hold it. Like,
that's what I said. I thought about, but at this point, you get Rip Rogers. You see, he's still over in the corner. They've kind of showed throughout the show that he's still over in the corner doing the
and he's up to like 2,500 or something.
2,000, yeah. And Horner comes out and he goes, man, he's still doing them. He's like, yeah, man, I think he's gonna make it. He goes, well, do me a favor, look. And Rip looks over at Horner and goes, I'm gonna spend your money any damn way I want to, which I had no problem with it. I'm like, you winning it fairly. And he asked Cottle, he said, look over and see how much time he's got left. Cottle turned around to get the watch, and when he does, he kicks a chair.
Horner kicks it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. Horner kicks a chair, Rip goes down and jumps back up and starts doing them again, and Kyle's like, you didn't quite make it. You had like 30-something seconds left. And you're like...
Even though he's continuously...
Yes. So you're like, okay, who was the bad guy again?
Yep. Tim Horner definitely came across as the bad guy.
Big time to me. But,
I mean, first, he wants to gamble. That's bad. And then he wants to cheat. That's bad,
And he cheated the guy, and the guy did nothing wrong,
That's
really.
right.
But say, I'm going to spend your money how I want to.
Well, that makes me mad.
That's how it. Ain't never heard that in wrestling. You'll make somebody mad, tell them the truth.
Yeah. But overall, solid episode.
It was very solid.
And then, now we go to episode 7?
Yeah. It starts, Kyle and Dutch still doing promo. You get TJ Travis versus Hector Guerrero. And this match, you can tell who's trying to get all the sunshine, put light on him.
Yep.
Because the other guy is, and I can tell why, because this TJ Travis, he has to be pretty green at this point.
Yeah, I think
he botches a couple of things. It's pretty rough looking. And you can tell Guerrero's trying to walk him through it, and his punches look like trash.
Yeah,
but like Guerrero was trying his best to hide everything, and he did a decent job.
Yeah, I mean it was okay, but
and it was like
quick,
an 8-minute
get
match.
it out,
and they should have made it by about a 5.
Yeah. I thought it could have ended a couple minutes early and would have been the same outcome.
He's probably the worst one I've seen go against anybody
so far.
Because he was botching stuff left and right.
And, he wasn't horrible. Look, I mean, he had like a bad haircut, but, or maybe just bad hair in general. But just like glance by him, he wasn't.
No, he had a decent look. But
he looked better than Hector.
I
understand why Hector became the gobbledygooker. Well, God, was an upgrade.
His tights is just. I agree with you.
He's just a dude that should be covered up.
Yeah.
I mean, in all honesty, he was Lasertron or whatever, right? And so like that.
God, it was him.
Yeah.
I
mean, that kind of worked because it covered him up. He's got little small legs.
I know the next show he comes out, he's got on the hat, and now he's got the cross bullets on.
Yeah. I mean, coming to the ring, he looks good.
He looks okay.
It's just when he takes it
off.
Yeah.
And always got on like these silver
little
tights.
surfer shorts or something. I don't know.
And nothing really goes together. That's
right.
Why
it's
he
mismatched.
literally looks like an indie wrestler.
Yep.
So, but not in the ring. It's just his
gear. I mean, he's skilled.
His skills are awesome, but his in-ring gear, you're just
but
like,
the jalapeno
wow.
roll took this one.
Yeah, the jalapeno roll. Yeah, that's what Dutch called it. And it's a cool finish.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I've seen it a few times, but usually it's like a comedy spot.
Yeah.
And this, it was being taken serious as a serious finish. And this is like the second time he's won with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, next you get Danny Davis doing another show promo on how dangerous he is. And again, he still try to get over the character.
I like the Nitro Danny Davis. I like the character.
Not bad. I'd rather see him I'd rather see Danny Davis and Hector.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Give me that match.
Right.
TJ, stay home. So that's all I can say about that. Then you have the Fantastics talking about their 6-man tag match. And they're going to have a surprise partner. They're still not going to tell you who.
And this is the second week they've talked about this, right?
No, it's about a month later because they've been in Japan for 2 weeks.
Remember? Okay.
So now they're coming back. It's not a bad little promo. And they're like, we're not going to tell you who it is. So me and you had our opinion who we think it is. And I snuck forward and saw. I ain't going to ruin it for you, but I can promise you it's not who you think it is. Because even I'm like, who the hell is this guy? But okay.
So it's not Tim Horner or Robert Gibson.
Tim Horner or Robert Gibson.
Because that was my pick.
But the people in the building do know who it is because when he shows up, they're like, oh shit, it's him. And I'm like, who is
that guy?
And I'm like, so you'll see it when we watch next time and talk about it. But it's not who you think it is.
Looking forward to it.
So, let's see.
Talked about the...
Next was the 6-man tag, kind of building up to this match.
I enjoyed this. The Rocky Patterson was a good worker. Like, I thought the stuff he did.
Jacked up dude, too. Reno Riggins and Bam Jordan. Was it Ben? Okay.
Ben Jordan.
I listened to it like 4 times and I couldn't understand it completely all the way.
Yeah,
So
Ben
anyway,
Jordan.
I think Ben Jordan was the one who took all the heat.
Yeah, he took the pen too.
And he should have. So,
but the Rocky Patterson, I was like,
Rocky
come on,
and
man.
Reno were fine, but Ben was the green guy in the ring, and you could tell it.
Right.
But not a bad match. I'll tell you this, because I found out, when I finally found out who the hell Golden was, I was like, holy cow, that's him. And it blew my mind who he become in WCW.
Bunkhouse Buck.
Yes. I'm like, this guy's built like a gentleman. He looks like a professional. I've been saying boxer for all this time. And when you see him in WCW,
He put some weight on, though.
Weight, lost some hair.
Yeah.
He starts doing the stringy stuff and looks like a brawler from hell. And I'm like, looks nothing like the same
He
person.
just tried to change his look up.
Bro,
you know?
he succeeded, because I be damn, I didn't know who he was. When Jim Cornette said who he was on something I was listening to, I was like, there's no damn way.
I thought you knew.
And then I go back and look, and I'm like, holy shit.
And then Bunkhouse
And
Buck.
I was a big Bunkhouse Buck fan.
Bunkhouse Buck comes
yes.
Jack Swagger's daddy.
Exactly. So Jimmy Golden become Bunkhouse Buck to have sex with somebody and Big Jack Swagger's daddy. So I was like, and he was a better looking guy as Jimmy Golden than he was Bunkhouse.
Yeah, like his
Buck.
career went down.
It's like, you're gonna look trashy now. I'm like, what? So I thought that was cool, because I really, honest to God, did not realize that.
But he won with the drop kick.
Yeah, drop kick, really pretty drop kick too. And he pinned the Ben guy. Decent match
Yeah,
for what
it was okay.
Next, they recapped Ron White situation.
Yep.
So Ron White said, "Well, I got a guy, and I didn't know who it was, and I was honestly happy at who it was.
It worked. I mean, I honestly thought it was going to be like Bob Holly or somebody,
but I like who he got, because this guy can actually talk.
Yeah.
And I think they didn't bring her in yet, but when they bring in his female, later on, she's really good too.
Yep.
But he actually gets Dirty White Boy.
And if you are a mid-90s WWF fan, that's T.L. Hopper, the plumber.
T.L. Hopper, unfortunately. But over here is where you want to watch it.
Yeah, it's not T.L. Hopper.
Damn T.L. Hopper.
All he does is find a snicker in a swimming pool.
Yeah, I think he would agree. And he takes a bite out of it, if I remember right. But anyway,
I think so.
But it's Ricky Nelson. This guy isn't bad neither. He's
I like Ricky Nelson.
His little deal.
I mean, his punches need work, but other than that.
But his wrestling, he was another guy. He should have stuck with chops and elbows.
Yeah.
But some people can't punch. I can't punch. My punches are like shit.
And they hurt.
And they hurt. And it's not good combo. But anyway, the finish is a clothesline to the back of the damn head. It
smoked homeboy.
Killed him.
Smoked him,
I thought he decapitated this dude. He come out, he hit him in the corner with his chest. He backs out, and when he did,
tell you the difference. Okay, so Bobby Roode
used to use it.
He used to use, but he would catch you across the shoulders.
Yep. No,
because he didn't want to kill you.
Not this dude.
But that was 10, 15 years, 20 years before that.
This dude looks like he is legit
You wanted to make people believe. So what'd you do? You smoked this dude in the back of the head.
Because he hit him so close, like he had to drag him out to the ring, out to the center of the ring.
I think.
And this dude looks like he is out.
I ain't real sure he's awake.
No.
So
he was counting sheep.
I mean, if you ever want to see a devastating version of the Northern Clothesline, or what they called it,
Northern Lariat.
Yeah. Holy smokes, this is it. Like Rude's was okay. Like, they looked safe.
Yeah, but
this one, you owe me money. That's what it looked like.
Because they said like he has how they put it, his right cross is only second to Mike Tyson's. Yeah. And I was like, I believe
this was one of those. I'm gonna apologize now because you're not gonna remember later.
No,
you know?
He had no memories of that. And then they go to the side and they have a short little promo, and it was actually really good. Yep. White's like, you wanted me to get somebody. He goes, thanks to him now I'll be able to get my hip operation, and it turns out I might need a heart operation too.
And so he's needed this heart operation for at least 30 years.
100 years.
He I got a bad heart. I couldn't even get in there. I wasn't trying to attack. I was trying to help him up. With my bad heart, I need a heart attack. This has been an ongoing condition. So. 30 years before this, he needed a heart transplant. So,
but you had White Boy putting over. You know, I respect him. I've seen what he's done,
and I like that he said, "I can't believe nobody in this."
Not one person would stand up and help this man.
Yeah, I like that.
This man's in a wheelchair, for God's sake, and it was really.
I really like that line. Like,
yes. And then you had this lovely Hollywood Bob Holly promo in the back. Well, it sounds better than what he's been doing. But now he's going to be talking about how he did not break up Julia Roberts' wedding.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
we just friends.
God's sake.
So
These promos, I would love to see Bob Holly watching promos.
Yeah, they were fun though. They were fun.
But I would love to see him watch it. And next, this surprised the hell out of me because I heard Jerry Lynn, and I've got to look at him.
I'm like, it's Jerry Lynn.
And I'm like, but he was a little bit buffer back then.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking, and his hair's all puffed out. He had a little more hair, you know, because a couple years earlier. And I'm looking, and what finally convinced me, because you know, a little bitty camera I'm watching. But when he started running, like he had a certain kind of run to him, he had a certain body ethic. But his fights Killer Kyle, and
it wasn't bad.
Really decent match. It made Killer Kyle look way better than Killer Kyle was.
I love the finish, the bear hug into the slam. And he got him really high with the bear hug, which is what you should do.
Yeah.
You know, so.
As they were trying to say, it was the Bubba Slam. Bubba Slam's to the side.
Yeah,
it's not
but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the slam.
It was definitely, I'm going to out-quick this other guy. Boy, I like when Dutch goes, how many people you know it's quick? I don't want to hear you say a damn thing about Jerry Lynn being
Everybody's
quick.
Hector's quick. Danny Davis is quick.
I was rolling. But
it's good stuff.
Very good match. It was cool just to see, though. I mean, that's later on. The
New Elfin show.
Yeah, I mean, the New Elfin show. Hell, the ECW world champion.
Yep.
So that was really cool to see somebody start there.
Right.
Then next you had Bam Bam talking about another promo where he can't be beat.
Yep.
And he was dropping bombs.
Yep. More of the same.
Then you get a recap of Rip Rogers on what happened between him and Tim and on the
with the Tim Horner. Right.
So TV time remaining. I wanted to make sure I put that on there because I thought I was like, oh, they're going to go do a damn where you're not going to see
draw or something.
Yeah, I'm like, it's fixing to go off the damn air, and I'm not going to see the whole match. But the
match was solid.
Very solid match. And they beat him with it he's on the outside of the ropes, and he's on the inside. He bends him over and hits a sunset flip. Tim Horner wins with a sunset flip.
But I like his Rip Roger, like they worked that, or he's like one finger at a time coming off the ropes before he went back.
Yeah. I was scared they were going to do the referee kick the fingers thing, and thank God they didn't do it.
I think that comes later. Like, I don't think that's a deal yet.
Unless you screwed with the referee during the match, and they really didn't. This was definitely between
This
them.
was solid. And I love the little outrage at the end. Because Rip Rogers, like, you tobacco chewing, hillbilly smoking. Now, I've never smoked a hillbilly, but I'm sure some people have. But I like just that. I'm mad and I'm just going to cuss you out without cussing, you know.
And, like, during the match, Rip didn't really...
No.
He didn't really cheat or anything.
It was good. I mean, solid stuff.
So, I'm still a Rip Rogers fan. And I'll tell you something. I remember a while back, been about 2 years, I guess, when Rip was one talked about dives. Remember that? And got into all that controversy. During this match, Tim Horner dives on him, and I about fucking died laughing because of it. I'm like, there was all that BS about the dives, but Tim Horner's diving on him during this match.
Yeah. But overall, two good episodes.
Well, let me finish. One last thing happened. Bob told him, he said, you're going to give me proof we got a tag team coming and who the hell they are.
Right.
So Jim Cornette goes, I will bring a videotape. I'm going to go ahead and tell you there ain't no videotape goes up. Something else happens.
All right. Well, looking forward to the next episode.
The next two episodes should be really good.
So tell us what you think. If anything you enjoyed, favorite matches from these episodes, anything like that in the comments.
Ooh.
And,
I mean, I'd really like to hear some people talk
Smokey Mountain Wrestling.
Yeah, episode 6.
And 7. Yep. All right. Till next time.
Watch more wrestling.
Watch wrestling.